Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. I'm buzzing to be making this video because it's a video I never thought I'd be making. When we saw England at the start of the tournament, at the start of the Euros, if you had told me you'd be making a preview for a semi-final that will have England play Denmark in it, I would have punched you in the face. Now, I'm not advocating any violence whatsoever, but that is just the biggest flip of a coin that you could come out with. And the way that England have progressed throughout this tournament, up until the Germany game, we looked flat. We looked lackluster. There was a lot of criticism, from me included. I think 99% of English people across the country and the world were criticising what Southgate was doing and criticising some of the lads, Sterling in particular. And then it all just flips. It all just flips. We put in one clinic against Germany and all of a sudden everyone's hopes has gone skyrocketing through the clouds. We've beaten Ukraine in the quarterfinals convincingly, might I add, convincingly, absolutely destroyed them, played them off the park, killed the game with 40 minutes to go. And you just knew at that point we were able to rest players, we were able to rotate, we were able to take it easy, turn into a training session. And here we are now, semi-final of the Euros. The first semi-final of the Euros that England are in 25 years. Not since Euro 96 have we been in this situation. Obviously in 2018 we were in the semi-final of the World Cup and then that came crashing down. Now, that came crashing down mainly because of fatigue and using too many of the same players in too many games, obviously contributing to the fatigue. If you remember that game against Croatia, we took a 1-0 lead, Trippier free kick, we all remember that, it's in our hearts forever. That was the highest, that was the peak, and then it all came crashing down. That was the peak of our tournament, and then it all plummeted through the earth. What happened after that? We got tired, we got flat. There was just no energy anymore. We were just not able to run anymore. And on the flip side, on the contrary, Croatia all of a sudden just came out of nowhere. They looked like they had all the energy in the world. It looked like they'd only played 5 minutes with 20 minutes remaining. Unbelievable. And they just took control of the game. They took the initiative. They completely dominated us. We couldn't run anymore. We were completely fatigued. And we let the game go. We let the game go completely. I'm quite confident we are preventing that from happening this time round. Why? Because of the game against Ukraine. Against Ukraine, as I said, with half an hour to go, we managed to make wholesale changes. We took off Declan Rice, we took off Phillips, we took off Sterling, we took off Kane, we took off Luke Shaw. All the players that we know have just played and played and played and played, taken off. And that game was on Saturday. We've had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 days of rest, recovery and training to prepare for the semi-final against Denmark. Now, this game is going to be difficult. I'm not going to come on here and say, oh yeah, we're playing Denmark. This is going to be a walk in the park. This is, flipping out. This is on a plate for us, on a silver platter with a knife and fork and a spoon and a glass of champagne and all sorts. I mean, technically on paper, it looks like it. But Denmark are no mugs. Denmark are no mugs. And they've got their own motivations with what they're doing at the moment. They could be the first Denmark team to repeat the class of 92. If you remember what happened in 1992, I mean, I was born in 1992, so I don't remember it, but I've gone back and I've seen the history books. I'm lucky to hear from my dad, who was there and witnessed it, not in person, but witnessed it, of what went down that year in terms of Denmark's achievements, because they entered the Euros, they qualified for the Euros just because Yugoslavia at the time, they've split into loads of countries now, but Yugoslavia were disqualified. Denmark were not even qualified to the competition. But because Yugoslavia got disqualified, they went to the next best team, which was Denmark, and they ended up qualifying for the tournament. And because of that, they went to the tournament, participated, and won the damn thing. They won the Euros. Talk about luck. They didn't even qualify and they ended up winning the Euros. Now they are in a situation where they're probably able to repeat such a feat. Imagine how the Danish are feeling right now, being 2 games away from winning the Euros again since 1992. Now the English have the motivation of, we've never won it. We've never won it. I can't believe I'm saying that. We've never won the Euros. But we've won the World Cup. And that was 55 years ago. So England's motivation is to reach a competition, a tournament final, right? A major tournament final for the first time in 55 years. We've been waiting for it to come home. The semi-finals taking place at Wembley. The finals taking place at Wembley. The last time we won something was at Wembley in 66. I mean, look, it's written. It's written. That is the motivation for England right now. So both teams are going to come into this with history on their backs, and they're looking to repeat, and they're looking to get to the pinnacle. Denmark will not be easy, though. The way that they're playing with this confidence. They're playing with each game that they play, they look better. So they're going to come to Wembley tomorrow. They're not going to play, like they don't know how to play football. They are going to show up in a very confident manner with a manager that seems to be getting the best out of all the players. The cohesion, the chemistry, the pace that they play at is quick. They're not slow. They know each other very well. They don't have superstars on the team, but as a group, they look dangerous. And obviously, the one man that many people are familiar with is Andreas Christensen. And obviously, as a Chelsea man myself, I'm happy to see him. I hope we beat him tomorrow, but I'm happy to see him. And the contribution he's making alongside his teammates is phenomenal. So look, Denmark tomorrow will not be easy. Do not expect a walk in the park like we had against Ukraine. I'm just saying that now. But England have a team. The progression England have been making throughout this tournament has been phenomenal. The way that Southgate has managed to manage this team has been phenomenal. And not just Southgate, but Steve Holland too. You can clearly see that many of the strings being pulled isn't just by Southgate, it's by Steve Holland, his assistant. And together they seem to be managing this squad together very, very effectively and making decisions that we all criticised at the beginning, but now look like they are paying off. So I'm not even going to complain. He wants to do everything that we all criticised him for. He's done it. It's worked, mate. Go ahead, mate. If you can win the flipping damn thing, you'll be considered a legend forever. So let's get into the starting 11. In terms of team news, no injuries. Everyone's fit. Everyone looks like they're available. But who is going to start? What 11 is best? We can't be dealing with rotation now. We managed to do that for the last half hour against Ukraine. Now is a case of semi-final, final. Take it seriously. Put your best team out. Give it all you got. It's as simple as that. Even if your legs begin to hurt, even if your legs feel like they're about to fall off, you got to keep going. That is the stage of the tournament we're at now. We got to go all the way. Let's get into the starting 11 and what I think Gareth Southgate is going to go with. So, we're remaining with a back four. Obviously, against Germany, we went to a back three and it worked. Against Ukraine, we went to a back four and it worked even better. Now, England, as we know, have super amounts of talent in terms of attacking, in terms of playing offensively, in terms of goal scoring. We are very robust and solid at the back, though. So, we've got to take that into consideration. But I do think against Denmark, we can honestly take the initiative. And for that, I'm saying play with a back four. We go with Pickford in goal. And Pickford has been superb. Might I just add, for Everton, he makes blunder after blunder, but for England he ends up looking like one of the best keepers in the world. I don't know what it is, but it just clicks, it just works. Pickford has been instrumental, so fair play to Jordan Pickford. I hope he puts in a clinic tomorrow. At right back I would go Kyle Walker. I don't want to break any of the cohesion we have at the back at the moment because that seems to be England's strongest point. Our back four has been superb. Absolutely superb. Now, Walker going forward has his liabilities, but defensively you're not getting past him. And that's why I think, you know what, we'll stick with Walker. I have a tendency to say play Reece James because I know in terms of both sides of the game, offensively and defensively, you'll get a fantastic game from him. And if he does play, I'll fully trust him. But in terms of continuity, in terms of playing what has already worked, you just got to stick with the same back line. And for me, Kyle Walker starts. The two centre-backs has to be Stones and Maguire. Since Maguire's come in, they've just formed this great partnership. It's funny because one plays for City, one plays for Man United. But for England, together, they just click, they just work. And I want to pinpoint Harry Maguire. He has been flawless since he's come into the fold. Flawless. Hasn't made one mistake. I haven't seen him make one mistake. Honestly, every time the ball comes to him, he clears it well, he tackles well, he passes well, his crossfield ball has gone well, he's scored, his headering's well, slab head in full form. Honestly, he's been class. So look, Harry Maguire, John Stones for me as the two centre-backs. At left-back, you got to go Luke Shaw. At this point, he's just been great. Absolutely great. And the last game against Ukraine was flawless for him as well. One of the men of the match and ended up with 2 assists. So Luke Shaw for me, starts without question, and Mourinho will just have to bite the bullet with that one. In terms of the midfield, I would have to stick with Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. It's as simple as that. Look, the beginning of the tournament, I had my reservations about those two. I saw Calvin Phillips start off well, and then we saw Rice get into it. But I wasn't really sure in terms of attacking and in terms of trying to score goals, whether that was the best midfield to go with. But look, every time they've played now, they've looked brilliant. They've looked secure. They've looked like, except for the first two games, after that, since the Germany game, they can move the ball quickly, they get into good positions, they take risks, they're solid, especially Declan Rice, solid, he throws his body on the line for anything. You get good balance between those two. So I don't want to disrupt that, and I think if it's worked so far, just keep it working again. Obviously, the fact that they were both carrying yellow cards in the last game and came off without any issues means that they are clean. They don't have any bookings to their names, which means as long as they don't get injured or sent off, they will be playing the final if England make it. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Now, the midfield three just in front, the attacking three, this is what I think is best. These are my top three. Right? Because there's a lot of debate as to who can play in these positions. But for me, this is what I would go with now. And I've kind of changed my tune compared to the beginning of the tournament. But I think it's only safe to say I've been forced to. We go with Grealish for me. Grealish is the man with the biggest impact in this team. We are no longer in a position where we can just bring him on for 20 minutes, because we know he's going to make a difference. Nah. We are in the semi-final. You start him now. 90 minutes, and if we make the final, 90 minutes. It's as simple as that. Yes, Southgate might take it from an angle of bringing him on and making the impact, and he could do that tomorrow because Denmark, you look at it again on paper and you think I'm able to afford to do that. But it's a semi-final, man. Put your best players on the pitch. It's as simple as that. That's how I would do it anyway. Grealish, I think, has the capacity to put England up 2-0 after 10 minutes. Like, honestly, and why wouldn't you want that? So for me, he starts. In terms of the two next to him, I would go Mason Mount in the middle. I think we all see why. You saw the contribution he made against Ukraine. Off the ball, he's fantastic. He is necessary in terms of winning the ball in offensive parts of the pitch, in terms of being able to put pressure on, in terms of being able to create mistakes for your opponents. Mason Mount is instrumental in that. And you see the way that he's able to pick out passes. I mean, I think one thing he can do better is take some shots from distance. I say that for him at Chelsea too. But in terms of his delivery, his set pieces are second to none. The way he pings in the ball is class. We saw the goal that he got for Maguire. That was Mason Mount's corner in. There's a lot that he brings to the game, and I think it will be necessary against a very energetic Denmark team tomorrow. So we'll see. Plus, he knows Christensen. So it's very handy to have a Chelsea man up top because he might be able to keep tabs on him. In terms of the man next to him, I just have to put Sterling. This is one of the things. At the beginning of the tournament, I would have said no. Leave Sterling on the bench. You just have to say, he is the man that has got all the goals right now. Or most of them anyway. Sterling has had a big impact. And as the tournament's progressed, we saw against Germany, we definitely saw against Ukraine, it looks like he's starting to be a little less selfish on the ball in times where he just needs to give the ball. But the impact he has, the energy he has, his positioning, the chances he's able to create from nothing is just necessary. It's just necessary. And for me, he just needs to be on the pitch. For the fact that it's a semi-final, the final, he's the one that's been getting the most goals, you play him. If not, you'd be crazy. So for me, Sterling on the right-hand side, because Grealish for me operates better on the left rather than the right. Sterling can do both. So we'll stick Sterling on the right. And up top, you got to go the main man, Harry Kane. Good old Harry Kane. He scored again against Ukraine. Very happy for him. I hope that he's blossomed late. That would be perfect. He started the tournament very quiet, but now he's getting goals. He got it against Germany. He got it against Ukraine. Now he's in form, and he's in form at the perfect time. We're in a semi-final, and if he scores again, we get to a final, he'll be in the form of his life. So fingers crossed he scores tomorrow. If he does, oh my goodness, that would be incredible. So for me, that would be the starting 11. In terms of a score prediction, oh man, I gotta say I'm not fully confident. I'm wary of the threat that Denmark possess and what they can bring to the table. So I hope that England are fully on it. We don't underestimate them. We kill the game early, fingers crossed, and we get the job done and we get ourselves to the first final in 55 years. But I've got my head saying 1-1 and it goes into extra time and then I can't predict it. I got my heart saying England 2, Denmark 0. Because we're at Wembley and we're just that good and it's coming home. Simple as that. Let me know in the comments what you think in terms of a starting 11 and what you think in terms of your score predictions. Do you think we're going to make the final? Do you not? Let me know your reasoning in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But come on, England, please. Please, please, please. When will be the next time we are in this situation again? I don't know. No one knows. But the fact that we are at a semi-final at Wembley, a final at Wembley against Denmark, beatable, not easy, but beatable. We will not get an opportunity like this again. We will not get an opportunity like this again. This is on a plate for us. Let's take it, please, England. Come on, it's coming home. I'll see you tomorrow for the review after I do the watch along. Don't forget, I'm doing a watch along for the England game over on Twitch. So make sure you're following me on Twitch, link in the description. And then afterwards, I will drop the review here for you, where hopefully I'm screaming at the top of my lungs that it's coming home and England are in the final for the first time in 55 years. Come on, England. Let's do it. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.